like to have so much attention by all these politicians on your identity?
It makes me feel like they think we're puppets.
Talk about your parents now, or like look at mom back there, like, oh, it's talking about me.
Fuck. That CNN played that clip is amazing to me. You have 3 trans kids up here. You start with the one going, I'm going to be murdered. And then you actually played the one going, it makes me feel like a puppet. And nobody at CNN went, hey, should we really play that part? Seems a little contradictory to what we're doing. This was a CNN thing, you see, because anytime there's a controversial subject, Jack, you got to bring kids on and have them talk about how afraid they are of dying. Did you watch this clip?
No, I haven't seen this.
Oh, all right.
What concerns have you had about speaking out?
That I'm gonna be like murdered. Like,
that's how they started off. They're talking with trans kids and how they feel about the election, Jack. And they started off with this kid saying that they feel like speaking out, they're going to be murdered.
Oh, this is a trans kid? I thought it was just a really ugly kid. They're going to murder you because they think you're an abomination.
one day I'm gonna be walking down the street and somebody's gonna come up and like shoot me or something.
That's a really scary thing to be worrying about at 10 years old.
Maybe if you live in like New York City, because look at that CEO that just got murdered.
Well, this is specifically for them speaking out as a trans kid.
Oh, yeah, you heard about the United Health CEO, right?
No.
Yeah, he got assassinated in the street.
Damn.
Like, literally, it looks like a professional hit.
Probably was.
Yeah. Because somebody did pay out for the premium.
So yeah, this is a 10-year-old, Jack, a 10-year-old trans girl.
Yeah.
Sure. Who is desperately scared that they're going to be murdered for being trans.
Like you do at 10, when your parents are psychopaths and have trained housing by proxy.
Yeah, that should not be a worry.
Michelle, what's going through your mind as you hear your daughter say this?
It's hard to hear her say that. And she asked me three.
I just want to point out, you'll notice that there's 3 kids up there and there's 3 parents and they're all female.
Oh, there's no man in this household. They probably got custody away from the husband so they could transition their kid to be unique and special at the book club readings.
Why is it's just so sad. I don't think my 10-year-old knew about trans issues.
No, but you would if you were a crazy parent that made your kid trans. It's like cats with clothing, dude. You know this.
3 questions after she heard who won the election. Are we going to have to move? Are they going to take me away from you? And am I not going to be able to get my medicine?
Are we going to have to move? Are they going to take me away from you? And am I going to be able to? That's a 10-year-old. That's what you put on your child, lady.
Yep.
That's not Trump's fault. It's not my fault. It's not the media's fault. That's you. You horrible, horrible mother. And CNN, you fucking dirty, disgusting pieces of shit. Why are you encouraging this shit? Look at the poor trans. At least this time, Jack, it's not suicide. They're going to be murdered. Because that happens. Trans kids are slaughtered every day. It's become a real problem. They're on the street there with Jack's litter, and they're everywhere.
The illegal immigrants that go through my litter.
They're just looking for food.
Well, too bad. Yeah. No, obviously, I'm really starting to wonder if some of these media companies aren't owned by the same pharmaceutical companies that make the hormones.
Well, it is amazing how much advertising on CNN comes from medical companies.
Yeah, suspiciously so.
Thank you, Keldrig. Transing your kid and then convincing them that they are going to be murdered because of what you did to them is child abuse. 100% it is. It's psychological abuse. It's
Yep.
what it is.
Thank you, Tyrai, for the very generous donation. Isn't the domestic violence against trans are internal? We don't talk about that. We're not allowed. So, no. No,
Thank
because
you,
we're not
Dangerous.
allowed to
Hey,
talk about actual facts.
thank you, Dangerous. I think it's so sad that she is so scared of getting murdered. Then stop telling her that she's going to get murdered. It's going to happen, you crazy fucking bitch.
Right?
That kid needs to be taken away from her. This is fucking abuse. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. It's total psychological manipulation. They literally are brainwashing a child into thinking they're the wrong sex.
And going to be murdered for it.
Yeah, and they're going to be murdered because they're different. You made them different, you psycho.
Thank you, Logical Male. Jack, any chance you'd grab the green one?
Yep. If you think pro-choice is bad, God forbid the left is going to normalize this and say, we're for paternal rights, aka abusing kids. Oh, this is affirmation, remember.
Yeah.
So it's obviously good by its inherent nature. It's seeding the argument to them. It's not child mutilation. No. This is affirmation. You are helping them be who they are. You're a good person. You're, in fact, the best person because you're helping someone discover themselves.
Can we point out that she was just talking about how the child asked at 10 years old if they'll still be able to get their medication? At 10, Jack.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's frightening.
We've seen Republicans put a lot of money and energy into transgender issues. More than $200 million were spent this election cycle in anti-trans ads. What does that feel like?
Anti-trans ads. I love this shit. You shouldn't mutilate children. Why are you so anti-trans? You shouldn't give my tax dollars to some freak who raped a bunch of ladies so he can get his hair longer and estrogen so he can go into a ladies' prison and rape there. Why do you hate trans people?
Yeah, why are you such a bigot? It's not rape, it's a gender expression.
The big ad that they all talk about is the one from Kamala. Well, it's from Trump, but showing Kamala talking about how she supported that shit. How dare you be against trans stuff? You do not want to know how I think prisoners should be treated. I think our definition of cruel and unusual should be set at 1776. Oh shit! Thank you, Zoe. Jack, would you mind?
Recent brain scans done on trans women show that their brains are more like that of women than men. Oh, hasn't recent brain scans showed? I'm not sure.
Let me talk about
but they still have the.
So let me address that because I've looked into this.
Yeah.
They do say that there's brain scans that show that trans women's brains look more like women's brains. And what you have to understand about the brain is that the brain is directly affected by what you do and how you act, and you can see it form, Jack. So if they're acting like women, then it tends to look more like a woman's brain because they're doing the things women do. And it's not so pronounced, Jack, that, we make the tiny girl brain joke. But brains, if you just put a man and a woman's brain next to each other, and let's say you found a small man, so it's the same size, you're not going to be able to just look at them. You're not going to be able to look at them in sight and go, oh, that one's clearly the woman's brain. You're talking about some very minute details in the shaping of the brain, and you can see differences in male brains and female brains based on the kind of stuff. Your brain actually responds to what you do. your environment, your experiences, all of this shit develops your brain. There's no such thing as the female brain. Anyway.
Like to have so much attention by all these politicians on your identity.
It makes me feel like they think we're puppets that they can play with.
Talk about your parents now, or like look at mom back there, like, oh, it's talking about me.
Fuck. Out of the mouths of babes, Jack.
Yeah.
They make me feel like we're puppets. One, you clearly have a learning disorder. But two, that CNN played that clip is amazing to me.
Yeah.
You have 3 trans kids up here. You start with the one going, I'm going to be murdered. And then you actually played the one going, it makes me feel like a puppet. And nobody at CNN went, hey, should we really play that part? It seems a little contradictory to what we're doing.
Seems almost like they're exposing us.
And it's just so wrong.
It made you feel disrespected.
Made me feel like literally dead inside.
Being used as a puppet makes me feel dead inside, she said on CNN.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, kid.
Fuck.
It's probably honestly the worst thing I've ever felt. I've heard trans.
You're 10. You're 10. It's the worst thing I ever. You're 10. Shut up.
With politicians that say, no, you have the wrong gender, you're confused, honey. No, myself is a fact, not an opinion.
You're 10. Myself is a fact. Yes, you exist. You being a girl when you have a penis, not a fact. In fact, it's the opposite of a fact. It's a fairy tale. Oh, can I say fairy tale about trans?
I don't know, because technically they're transitioning, so they're not necessarily gay then.
Yeah, but it's LGBTQ. It's that whole encompassing alphabet soup thing.
Yeah, they pick and choose when they're going to be part of a collective, though, so it makes it really difficult to navigate this, and that's on purpose, obviously.
I'm totally trans. How you say I'm the wrong gender? No. When we're talking about this, we are talking about sex, and yes, they used to be the same thing until perverts got a hold of it and wanted to bang little kids. Yeah. But you are a boy. That your mom lets you grow out your Kurt Cobain hair there doesn't change that.
Yeah, and look, this kid seems very angry, probably misguidedly so, but there's definitely some anger in there.
Well, mom was just crying about how do you think she's going to be murdered? Anyway, and what is with the? I'm not because that's a child. I'm gonna be nice. Hey, you guys.
Yes, that's like you.
And they don't get to decide that for me. I get to decide that for myself.
The Supreme Court is taking on a Tennessee law.
Whoops. Fuck. This is on their site. It's not on YouTube, so you can't just pause anywhere. You actually have to click the pause button, and that's annoying. But
yeah, I know.
Making or letting 10-year-olds decide things for themselves is always a great idea. We have a parenting problem in this country. And a lot of it is that these idiots are like, kids are the smartest thing. No, they're not. They're fucking retarded. They don't know anything. Thank you, Dangerous Spaces. As kids develop, they engage in imitation play, such as playing the opposite gender, in order to explore and understand the world. That doesn't make them fucking trans. This angers me beyond measure. Well, you're not wrong about what you're saying, but I think you're misdirecting it in this case. Because these were not kids who were playing dress up and mom went, oh, look, I guarantee you, especially that one in the middle, that kid was trans from birth. I promise you. They never had a chance to dress themselves as a girl. Mom already did it. This is brainwashing is what this is.
Well, this is mommy's fashion statement.
Yeah. This is, I wanted a girl and it came out with a stem on the apple and no.
No, we had to fix that.
I know in my heart it's really a girl.
My pumpkin spice talked to me and said this was a girl.
For the record, all 5 of my granddaughters are actually girls. I just want to point that out. You have to do that these days, Jack, because the granddaughters can have penises now, apparently.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've heard the legend of this.
Law that is banning gender affirming care for minors. So this is things like hormones, puberty blockers. Roughly 24 states have passed restrictions on gender affirming care. It's clearly a big political issue, but I want to understand what gender affirming care means for you. Why
don't you go into what gender affirming care is? You know, the sterilization of children and the mutilation of children. No, don't want to touch on that. You just want to ask the children what it means to them.
I mean, clearly. Don't want to get too deep into it.
For your family.
I don't know what kind of care my kids are going to need in the future, but I also believe in body autonomy and parental rights. And so
one, I just want to point out that this lady is like 60. So her little blue gumball there makes a lot more sense. I believe in bodily autonomy. It's a child. If your child came to you and said, Mom, I want to cut off my left leg, you're just going to be like, well, it's your body, your choice. What if they came to you and like, Mom, I want to do crack? Are you going to be like, well, it is a medicine. It's a drug.
Hunter.
Right? It's a child, you fucking retard. Your job is to guide them, not just give them everything they want and affirm that they are correct. They're kids. They're stupid. They are uninformed. They are literally ignorant. And it is your job to fix that. And your child is fucked because you're a retard. I was so angry. I'm actually calmed down from the first time I watched this.
Wow. That's impressive.
my kid,
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, this is propaganda.
I am so tired of the kids are the smart one. No, they're not. Compared to the left, yes. Those children, those 3 kids there, I have no doubt are the smartest people in that fucking room. But it doesn't make them smart. Being the smartest retard at the retard factory doesn't make you smart.
They have a factory?
Thank you, Snub. Jack, could you grab that?
Sure. Jack, read for the old man. Trans is the only issue you respect a pubescent's bodily autonomy. Yeah, because they can't get tattoos. They can't hack off limbs to look more like some character on TV.
Well, not just that, Jack. When you're talking about bodily autonomy for them, this is what it all comes back to. And if anybody's telling you different is lying to you. What happens when that 10-year-old girl wants to have sex with, I don't know, Tim Walz? It's their body, their choice, right?
Yep.
I
think that's really what this is about.
It is. The whole transing of kids things, which goes all the way back before Money. Money is just one of the worst. He's like number 2. I really do need to go back and find the guy's name, the real guy who started all of this. The whole thing is about sexualizing kids, making it okay for adults and kids to have sex. It's fucking gross. Bodily autonomy for a child? Are you out of your fucking mind? All right.
Deserve access to the same life-saving care that other cisgender kids are receiving.
What cisgender kids are getting life-affirming puberty blockers? It's fucking insane. Thank you, Metal Minister. Bodily autonomy, so we let kids buy cigarettes now. No, because Joe Camel lied to them, so they can't do that.
Yeah. Kids are both the stupidest people and the most gifted prophets at the same time.
All right, I can't watch this again. I will toss it into chat if anybody wants to, because I'm just going to start screaming. But yeah, CNN just using these kids to push nonsense and again, bodily autonomy for a child. Are you insane? Have you lost your goddamn mind?
I think you know the answer to that, and that was rhetorical.